Cool. Hello, Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. Now, funny thing is, this is my 5th time recording this video, but nevertheless, we are here at the Mid-Season Invitational 2019 Group Stage. Finally, the best of 1 round robin. 4 days of group stage, if I'm actually being correct, and then we get to the knockout stage. So right now we are currently at day 1. We had a interesting play-in stage to the play-in best of 5s, but now this is where the teams from the major regions are about to play. This is what everybody's been waiting for. This is what everybody has been wanting to see. Who will come out on top? Who will come out on top on day 1 specifically, given their weaker or stronger schedules? Now, just off the back end of looking at this, you can see G2 has the hardest schedule on the day, playing against SKT and Invictus Gaming, and you also have Team Liquid going up against Flash Wolves and Fongwu Buffalo. Now, you got to look at, well, what these games can mean in terms of everything else, because having these easier games early on can basically make or break you getting out of the group. Like we look back at the 2017 Mid-Season Invitational and the 2018 Mid-Season Invitational, where specific games that are weaker on certain days where you get an easier schedule, which can get you free wins, can get you above and in higher seeding for the actual knockout rounds. But that's not really going to matter with this MSI. You want to know why? Because even if you make top 4, whoever you're going to face is going to be either SKT or IG. You're going to have to face those teams in order to get to the finals. So you have to factor in, this is going to be very, very hard of a tournament for a lot of these teams, and we're gonna see probably one team dominate, one team just falter, one team kind of be middle of the pack, and then you could also see that one team that grows consistently throughout the tournament. I could see that happening right now. But let's start off with these predictions. So let's go with these predictions that are gonna be absolutely probably not my favorite. I mean, sometimes I get them right, sometimes I get them wrong, you know, it happens, you know. Alright, so G2 faces off against SKT in the opening match. I remember, you know, back when G2 last faced SKT, that was way back in 2016 and 2017. These guys have met at now 3 MSIs. That's crazy, isn't it? But now G2 have a completely different lineup than they had way back then. Then you also have Caps going up against Faker. Baby Faker versus their actual Faker. You have to factor into, you know, certain teams' strengths and weaknesses. This is what's going to show, can G2 be the team that people expect them to be? I'm a G2 fan myself, and I hope and hopefully they can actually beat SKT. I think people really do undercut how strong certain Western players are, just because they have this, you know, weird bias. Well, not really necessarily a weird bias. They have this specific bias towards Koreans, but that just can't allow them to understand that these Western players can beat the Korean players. It's not just based off the Korean players being really good, which that is the case as well, but you have to understand this player is strong too. He's got strengths. The Korean player is not perfect. He has weaknesses as well, but it's up to the Western player who he's going up against, is can the Western player exploit these weaknesses? And that's what you're going to see, is that can the West, after reaching such high heights in 2018, finally prove that the West can hold their own against the East players? And I think this is going to be another indicator of how Worlds is going to go later on during the year. So G2 and SKT, 2 big storied organizations in League, now facing off each other in the first day. I remember Perks, Sven, Mythy, Trick, and Expect facing SKT in 2017, and they got destroyed. And fun fact, G2 has never beaten SKT at MSI in a best of 1. They only ever won that one specific game in that best of 5 they played in 2017 MSI finals. So history, if it were to repeat itself, is going to tell me to put SKT. But I think that people are largely overrating and underrating both teams. Both teams have certain strengths and weaknesses. People are overrating SKT because they didn't watch the LCK. People are overrating G2 based off kind of their interesting run in the back end of the split. You had a pretty good start, and then you had a weird kind of slumpish part, and then you kind of have this part where they just took over playoffs. So you have to gauge the strengths of the team. So if I'm just talking about pure predictions, I'm actually going to say G2 going to win this match, actually. I feel like G2 is a very strong best of one team, and I feel like if they can get their mid lane, if Caps can actually get ahead of Faker, which can be a possible thing. Like, we saw Faker lose some laning phases, to some of the Korean mid laners. He didn't lose he's like 0-10. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if he loses to a certain point where your counter matchup can take over a basic matchup he's on, and if they're gonna just put him on a certain mid laner that's gonna be meta throughout the tournament, that's just going to be just that basic mid laner that just does the job, kind of like what Malzahar was back for Pobelter back at last MSI, then it's really not going to be that big a deal. You also have Wonder going up against Khan. I feel like Wonder can hold his own against Khan, and I feel like the big deciding factor of the series is actually going to be how Jankos can snowball his leads and help him basically what I'm trying to say is move the top side to a certain way. They have a really strong top side, so do SKT, and it's really, really decided by the top sides of both teams. The reason why SKT is more likely going to win is because of the bot lane. The bot lane has Perks and Promise Q probably, because Mickey said he's probably not going to play that much. And you have it against what? Teddy and Mata. Yeah, I'm not really seeing it there. I know people are gonna say, yeah, their bot lane it doesn't matter. We haven't seen them play, and when we did see Perks and Promise Q play, you have to be honest with yourself. They looked atrocious. That's the part where SKT is probably utterly going to uber stomp them, and that's where probably Klid is going to direct most of his attention to. So with Klid going bot lane, because he knows that's the weakest point of their team, that gives Jankos and more time with Caps and Wonder to snowball the top side. It's basically going to be a game of cat and mouse of whoever has the stronger side is going to actually probably most likely prevail in the match. But you have to realize that whichever side they're on is going to really determine that as well. So I feel like this time around, if G2 are to take down SKT, they're probably not going to beat them the second time around, given the fact that SKT is probably going to keep on improving past this point, based off what we see. But for right now, I'm going to give G2 a chance, and I'm going to say they win. But you're not out of the realm of possibility if you're saying that SKT could actually win this game, because that bot lane difference is just so massive. You can't tell me Perks and Promise here are going to be better than Teddy and Mata. There's no argument you can make up for that. And then you have Flash Wolves versus TL. Now, Flash Wolves seems to be this weird kryptonite team for a lot of teams, but they have this thing where they've kind of been basically not in everybody's conversation. Now, for right now, you have to kind of factor in what we saw out of the play-in stage for Team Liquid and Flash Wolves. It looked pretty decent from both teams, but I think TL is the stronger team. Flash Wolves got surprised by that Vega Squadron game, and if you factor that into right now, they would already lost the game. And I feel like Flash Wolves has been kind of losing their edge for these past couple of years, but I don't feel like Flash Wolves are completely out of this, actually. Their bot lane's actually still pretty good from what I saw. You have their mid laner, and Rather, he looked pretty decent. So this matchup is actually more even than people give it credit for, but I think TL can come out with the victory on today. So I got the Western teams getting their first 2 wins of the tournament. Now, Fangwu Buffalo versus Invictus Gaming. I could see this I'm predicting an Invictus Gaming, obviously, but oh my god, I feel so bad for Buffalo. They're gonna get crushed. Their dreams. I feel bad for that. I feel bad for that home crowd. Oh my god, Invictus Gaming are going to clap them. Oh my goodness, guys, press F for Fangwu Buffalo. Thank you, Mr. Buffalo, for being in this tournament, but you are not beating IG. And if you beat IG, it's only, and I want to stress only, because IG choked. That's the only reason. It wasn't because they're better. It wasn't because they have the stronger lead. I don't want to hear all that garbage. They're not better than Invictus Gaming. If you look at gameplay and from what we've seen from Fangwu Buffalo compared to what the possibilities we can see from IG, it's not happening. IG are going to crush their ever living dreams. SKT versus Flash Wolves. You have the Korean Killers versus SKT, and I think SKT are going to demolish them. Yeah, basically from what I saw of SKT, it's kind of the same version I saw out of Flash Wolves when they were actually playing in their actual best of 5 against Vega Squadron. SKT just seems to be the more perfectly fit team, and I feel like that Faker, the difference between Faker and Rather, the difference between Khan and Hanabi, and the difference between their new jungler, what is it, Boogie and Klid. Boogie looked like there were games where he just didn't even know what to do. Like, SKT are gonna have a field day with Flash Wolves. If you told me Flash Wolves could beat SKT back in the day, you know, when they were called the Korean Killers, I believe you. But right now, they're not the Korean Killers. They're more like the wolves. And what happens when you put a cell phone company to a wolf? I don't know, but I do know that SKT is winning this match. Hopefully. I wish my predictions would be right. Alright, and you have the next game. You have Invictus Gaming versus G2. Oh, man. I remember Wonder and Caps and Yankos all facing IG last year and then just getting demolished. But I feel like the players that they were last year have improved since then, only actually getting better. So I feel like if they did win this game, I myself wouldn't be surprised. And you're probably gonna say to yourself, why can G2 beat SKT, but they're gonna lose to Invictus Gaming? Certain styles with certain teams can pair better. Like, G2 is a little bit more faster paced. SKT have shown points where they play slow. IG don't play slow. They literally fight you just like 24/7, just like Fangbu Buffalo. They do it better. They have the better players to do it. And I feel like the clashing styles of G2 and Invictus Gaming are going to show. Invictus Gaming are basically what G2 are. Invictus Gaming are just better at it. That's how, and usually how history pans out. That team with the better style and the better players with the same style just wins. So Invictus Gaming, sorry my boys, for the G2 army, you lose an IG. And then you have TL versus Fangbu Buffalo. If there's anything you saw out of that Fangbu Buffalo and Team Liquid series, we're gonna get our best of 5. How about the best of 6 right now? These teams are gonna play almost 7 times. We're gonna get a best of 7 out of these teams because they're gonna play again. And you know what's so funny about that is that Fangbu Buffalo have no chance. I could easily see Fangbu Buffalo just not winning a game. But we know how certain drafts and best of 1s pan out. We know how certain games pan out. I could see them maybe winning a game, obviously. But right now, on this day, they're going 0-2. Flash Wolves have a chance of going 1-1. And I could see basically all of these teams going 1-1. But I do feel like TL have the easier schedule right now. And I feel like they could go 2-0. And I feel like IG are also going to be going 2-0 as well. And that's pretty much it for the MSI 2019 Day 1 predictions. So that's how I'm feeling about it. So leave your suggestions in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing signing out with Insight for Nerds. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a good day.